we begin exploring an anxiety-producing question. Do I have enough saved for retirement? Nearly 40% of households face a lower standard of living in retirement. Over the next few months, Eye on America will examine the uncertainties of retirement and retirement planning. And we start with Jill Schlesinger and a couple in Florida who had retired but are now back on the job.
My name is A.B. Ridgeway. I'm the host of the Ridgeway Report, and today we are talking about American seniors and their retirement, and it's just not enough. Millions of Americans are returning back to the workforce because they just don't have enough saved to stay retired.
This is certainly not part of Larry Gessick's retirement plan. The 77-year-old electrician by trade leaves at 5:30 a.m. and heads for his part-time job unloading trailers at a local supermarket in St. Petersburg, Florida, for $14.75 an hour. His wife, Joyce, 66, prepares for her workday, making $14 an hour as a full-time legal administrator.
It's not really a retirement.
What is it?
It's working every day.
The Gessicks came out of retirement not because they wanted to, but because they had to, and are among the 11 million Americans, 1 in 5 over 65, who are still working.
This illusion that you're going to retire at 65 and you're going to stay retired, it's a permanent vacation, we are finding out these are false dreams. Millions of Americans are not preparing for their retirement. They're not looking at their numbers prior to retirement. All they know is that they're tired of working. Unfortunately, being tired of working doesn't give you a free pass to retire. You have to make sure that those numbers make sense, or you're going to find yourself in the same situation that these 11 million people are in. That's 1 in 5 over 65. That is 20% of Americans find themselves still in the workforce. And also, this is prior to forced retirement. We've seen studies where the average age is around 62 because people are actually being forced outside of the workforce and are unable to get back in.
It's hard, 77, still busting my butt.
So I call it the work, retire, repeat syndrome.
Labor economist Teresa Ghilarducci says work is the new retirement.
More than half of the people who are retired right now do not have enough money to be retired.
Who's to blame for all of this?
I blame policymakers who experimented with our retirement system 40 years ago, and they are not saying the experiment failed.
That experiment is what we know today as the 401k, named after part of a 1978 law that offered companies an alternative to the traditional pension plan.
The thought was that Americans just need a little bit of financial literacy and they can just save on their own.
But in fact, many of today's older workers were never taught enough about saving and investing for retirement.
Time out. This channel is about accountability. And obviously they're in a bad situation. But to say that the 401k was a bad decision actually kind of hurts my heart. Because what she is saying is that the American people weren't intelligent enough to manage their own 401k. And to an extent, this may be true for some. But a majority of individuals did get the education, they just did not act upon it. The reason I say this is because we get free education to our children in public schools from K through 12. We see the graduation rate and we see the material that was offered, that was given to children, the homework that was sent home, and how many people actually graduate with a 3.0 or 4.0 or higher. And we also know those who were high school dropouts and those who did not pass or those who did not meet the requirements of the education. Now, are you saying the education system is broken? Is it the material that they're teaching that is broken? Or is there some accountability for some of those students because we're finding that some have able to make it through, some were not. Also, there are some studies for those who don't have a lot of resources at home, let's say the basic needs like food, water, and shelter. These individuals couldn't concentrate in school because they're so hungry. Think about it. Is it hard for you to concentrate when you're hungry? Yes. So if you don't have food at home and the only time that you eat is at school, your mind is on trying to eat, not necessarily on the education that's being provided. With that said, we're finding the same thing with retiree Americans. We're seeing that there is something that is distracting them from getting the financial literacy that they need. Even in this video, some people may, well, this is getting boring, or I don't want to hear this because I want to see a video where they're flashing lights and charts and things of that nature and entertaining me. No, it's about the education, not the entertainment. And that's what we're seeing. Some people may even click off of this video because they want to go to something else or they're getting distracted. But this is the information that people really need. So let me give you some context. The 401k was established on the back end of pension plans because what people were finding out was the guaranteed income and them trusting their company. There were some bad decisions made about the pension plan. Some companies went out of business. Sometimes the pension plans were drained without the knowledge of the participants or the employers. There was a lot of foul play that was going on. The 401k actually provided more control for the individual. Now, it also gave them more responsibility. As we know, with more power becomes more responsibility. Those people were not reaching out for financial advisors or people to help them through those types of situations to educate them. They just said, I don't know, and I'm going to freestyle and I'm just going to adjust as I go. And we see that there is a high failure rate when we are overconfident about how we are going to survive in retirement, because we can tell all the lies to ourselves if we want to. When the boots hit the ground and the truth is exposed, there is no running from it.